Hey, real quick video because my phone is at 7%. I just wanted to put a video out today. I just got finished making one. I just wanted to check my source about Queen Esther and everything. Holla at your boy. The topic of the day is a woman has to earn my vulnerability. I'm just putting this out there. This is not a hurt. This is not a I hate women speech. This is not a I'm never gonna love again. This is not boo-hoo, feel sorry for Willie. This is a hey, I have to guard my heart with all vigilance, like Proverbs says. Let's see, Proverbs 4:23. Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. I gotta guard my heart. I gotta guard my heart. There's nothing wrong with guarding your heart. When I say things like this, I come off like a male chauvinist, like I'm hurt. But it's just ironic that women will say the same thing, like, "Oh, a man has to earn, taking me out to dinner," which, or doing something like that. It just seems like women empowerment. When a man says this, it might seem kind of stuck up in the air. No, a woman does have to earn my vulnerability. I just can't be vulnerable with everybody. I just can't pour my heart to every woman that's out there trying to prove that I'm a nice guy. Am I saying I'm never going to love again or I'm never going to be vulnerable? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I need to be vulnerable in stages. I need to see if a woman's see if she's a Jezebel or a Delilah or a Ruth or a Esther. I have to guard myself, and this is what you guys want to hear. You guys want to hear a man that's sharing his truth. Please support me. And it's kind of ironic if a man shares his truth, and I can relate to Cyrus Speaks, because he's like, man, you want men to share your truth, but then when a man shares his truth, you knock him down. When a man shares, hey, this is my wisdom. When a man uplifts other men, it's like people don't want to hear. Men aren't safe on social media. Even a guy, he got like 50,000 followers. And he's like, I don't feel safe on social media sharing everything, because when I share things like what I'm saying right now, that, hey, a woman has to earn my vulnerability, I just can't give my trust to a woman like this. This is not the movies. This is not TV. Like, I don't, I have to see if she's worthy enough and she's okay enough to, is her heart in the right place? Is she gonna take advantage of me or not? Women take advantage of men too. They just do. Women takes advantage of men too. So I gotta guard my heart. I gotta guard who I am. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna love at all. Being too easy is not attractive at all too. I shouldn't have to feel like, men, you shouldn't have to feel like you got to tell your whole life story for a woman to trust you or to take a woman out on the date. That's just how I feel. I think that men need to guard their heart even more, because in this society of women preaching that all men are dogs, or men even preaching that all men are dogs, look at me because I'm Mr. Nice Guy. Nah. Like, all men aren't dogs. You know what turns men into dogs most of the time? Is they got hurt by a woman. Yeah, you heard that right. Men get turned into dogs because they got hurt by a woman, because maybe they were too vulnerable too soon. They were Mr. Nice Guy, so they don't hear they don't have a balanced view of the kingdom and look in the Bible, and just say, okay, how does a man of God act? How do I be vulnerable without being hurt? And you can't be naked in front of everybody. Adam and Eve, they were naked in front of each other because they were husband and wife. What I mean naked, I mean emotionally vulnerable with everybody. You can't be naked in front of everybody and show your feelings with just any woman. You got to guard your heart. Ladies, the same thing. You got to guard your heart against men who may be snakes. You don't know if he's a Boaz. You don't know if he's a King Saul. You don't know. You don't know if he's an Ahab. You don't know if he's a King David. You don't know. So in me saying this, I'm not saying that I'm never going to because women can get hard too as well and never let a man in that's worthy of her love, and she end up missing the right man because she's been hurt all her life, and then the right man comes and she's like, I'm not going to be vulnerable anymore. I'm not going to let a man in. Believe me, I met that woman and I was trying to prove that I was this perfect guy, and I end up hurting my own heart, being vulnerable and doing almost. Look, I almost gave a woman my whole kidney, trying to show a woman that men are worthy and that I'm worthy of her love and that I can be trusted and that I want to care for her and that I would do just about anything. And, that didn't work out too good. It just didn't. God bless her. I pray blessings upon blessings for her in my life. But now I'm like, you know what? I can't be vulnerable like that so soon. A woman has to show me that I can take my crown off and give it to her, So, I'm going to love again. I love love. I love women. This is not a cold or red pill thing like, oh, women can't be trusted. It's some women that can be, but there's some women that can. Ladies, it's some men that are dogs out here, but there's some men that are kings out here as well. So guard your heart. Let a man have to earn over time. Okay, I'm going to be vulnerable with this situation, but not so vulnerable with that. You got to guard your heart as well, I'm glad you kept your kidney. I'm glad I did too. I'm praying for her, and I'm praying that, that she's on the list right now as far as the last thing I heard. But I'm praying for her. And this is the woman that wanted me to be so vulnerable, but I guarantee you, the day I became so vulnerable, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I held back too much. I'm going to give her 100%. Then that's the same day she said, oh, I just see you as a friend. And I was just devastated. I'm like, yo, I was about to change my whole life. You couldn't even really have kids like that. Who's to know, And I say, you know what? I got to guard my heart more. I couldn't even, I was about to give my whole life and dreams up to take care of this woman. And as soon as I was vulnerable, I got hurt. I got stabbed, really, in the heart. Being called even names like, oh, you ain't no husband. You ain't ready to be a husband. You ain't this. And I'm like, I'm not ready to be a husband, but I'm ready to give my whole life for you. Who's to know in that surgery that I was to die or something like that? Who's to know? Who's to really know in that surgery if I gave my kidney up, I needed both of my kidneys? Who's to know? But I was willing to give it up because I wanted to show her that I loved her. But I can't get to, that's something that I have to reserve for my wife. Not a girl I'm trying to impress to show her that I'm different than other guys. She wasn't ready to be loved because she was hurt herself, So, and I should have seen that. And that, you know what? The biggest problem, that fault was me. Because she even told me that. And I was like, no, I'm here. I'm not going to go nowhere. And she wasn't ready. She even said out her own mouth she wasn't. So that goes to back to my point, Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Healing and loving oneself before loving another has to be done first, right? And I gotta love myself to the point where I don't need to have to prove anybody that I'm valuable or are meant to be loved. I love me. So I revised the other woman because I was trying to teach on Esther, and maybe I was wrong on some of the points, so forgive me. I deleted it as well, so forgive me. I have to do another study about it because I'm reading from different translations as well. This is ESV. I was reading from the New Living Translation. I can be corrected. I can. And that's okay if I'm wrong. Can I have the vulnerability of being wrong without somebody deleting me? No, it's social media. So we got cancel culture, right? So if I'm wrong on the subject and somebody feel like I'm teaching wrong, they even do it. They even do it to my apostle. Come on, As soon as they feel like you could have been in 5 deliverance sessions with them. Let you be wrong about or say somebody's name wrong in the Bible and you didn't mean it, but you was thinking about something else. Let you not be, or let them disagree about something small that's non-biblical as well. Oh man, they'll cut you off. We put ourselves in bad relationships, especially when we see the signs in the beginning. Yeah, very true. We do put ourselves. So I even say, that's on me, but it's my responsibility to. It's on her for her not seeing that she had a great man that wanted to love her, but it's on me to heal. Does that make sense? And I had to learn I can't force nobody to make them love me either. Even giving my whole life, that made me learn. Even giving a kidney like that, even doing that won't make, if somebody's not ready to be loved or not healed, that won't make anybody love you. If they're not ready. You can't prove, all men are dogs and all men don't want to get married. Man, get that out of here, because that's a straight lie. And I can't, even with me trying to be Superman, I can't be Superman to the wrong woman, But we as good people are always trying to show folks a different stroke, right? You are absolutely right. Amen. So forgive me for my earlier post if I quoted that wrong. I apologize. I'm going to go back and study Esther more. I can be wrong, right? And sharing my feelings on here, because it's very vulnerable for me to even be on Facebook and saying that a woman has to earn my vulnerability. That's countercultural nowadays. You know how many women will roll their eyes and say, oh, here go another man that's hurt, and women don't hurt. I got to earn something? Yes, you do. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you're Delilah or Jezebel. I don't know if you are Ruth or Esther. It's hard it's not a safe place for men to talk on social media most of the time. It's just not. So if you see a man like me doing this and doing this constantly, trying to make the world a better place, just one Facebook video at a time, if you see one, support him. Because it's not easy for a man to go out there and be like this, all right? So I'm getting out of here. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting me. If you like this video, share it. If you liked it, put a like on it. If you liked it, go subscribe to this YouTube or the Instagram Husband in the Making.